Okay, this is not a drill. San Diego Comic-Con just released Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power trailer, and I'm going to go ahead and play it, give my reaction. I have not seen it yet. This dropped, as of this recording, less than an hour ago. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to let you know my thoughts and kind of break down my reaction to the trailer.
We thought the war, at last, was ended.
Today, our days of peace begin.
We thought our joys would be unending. We thought our light would never dim.
Visually, this looks amazing so far.
Are strange.
It is here, Galadriel. The moment we feared.
Right out of the bat, I'm going to lower the audio a little bit. Right out of the bat, the fears that were there, I think from some of the early set photos are, eradicated quite a bit in this.
Beyond the darkness, tempting shadow, to bury us all beneath the mountain.
You can see the money, where the money went for sure.
He has not one name, but many.
Have you heard of him, lad? Have you heard of Sauron?
Oh, little Freddy Krueger actually.
If the evil rising is left unchecked, it will take us all. Find the light, and the shadow will not find you.
Together we can survive this!
There's a lot of good cinematography in this.
Fight with me.
Really good cinematography.
Each of us must decide who we shall be.
That CG was a little iffy,
There
but
can be no trust between hammer and rock. Eventually, one or the other must surely break.
You have been told many lies of Middle-earth.
All right. Cool. So, right out of the gate, so when this was announced, obviously, the big question is why? And that was my question going into this trailer. Is my question looking at the trailer, teaser images, everything that's been put out so far. The biggest question surrounding Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power has been why? Why are we going back to this world that, now 20 years ago, Peter Jackson perfectly showed. And it's not fair. In a lot of ways, it's important for people to remember that this project is not a remake of Peter Jackson's films. Like, these are a reinterpretation of J.R.R. Tolkien's original series of books. And so we have to remember that first and foremost. But that doesn't mean that we can't look at this as, we can't look at this as being, separable completely from Jackson's approach, because Jackson did it so well. And so when you're looking at this, you're going to consistently have throughout the entire series, no matter how much you try to divorce Peter Jackson's entries from this, it's going to be really hard to do. It doesn't necessarily mean it's fair. The filmmakers that are working on this series are biting off a lot here, but it is important to remember this is a new approach at looking at Tolkien's books, not necessarily a remake of Jackson's films. It's hard to keep that separate, but we have to judge it on its own merit. That's only fair. That being said, this looks really good. I think when they first started bringing this stuff out, I mean, obviously the first question was, how do you top what's been done? I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this here so I can take a look at some of the individual shots. But honestly, like, I'm really impressed with the visuals here. Like a lot of people, when I saw the live action intro logo that they did, all practical, I was blown away. But then when they started releasing some of the character images, I was a little bit concerned. And again, a lot's happened since Peter Jackson has released his series. I mean, the amount of great cosplay we've seen, the amount of great fan films we've seen, there's been a ton of work in this world. And the film and the TV series has a lot of, the TV series has a lot of legwork to stay ahead and feel like something fresh and new. And I think they do a really good job of that. Again, some of the character images when they were released didn't impress me, but seeing them in this world, seeing the action in each of these scenes, it's pretty mind-blowing how good this series actually looks. And it's wild to believe this is a TV series. I'm still blown away. Every time I see a TV series that looks like a film, it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I was just thinking that recently, thinking about Smallville. Like, the effects on the show at that time were impressive. But, I mean, you look at stuff now, like Kenobi or this, like, they look like feature films. It's really cool. Love all the cinematography. Love the look of this. I mean, it's obvious the scale of this is going to be pretty huge. It's clear that they spent every penny of the budget that they had on these shots. This stuff is gorgeous. Again, some of the characters by themselves, again, it's really hard to separate, and make it look like it's not costumes, make it look like it's not, make it look like it's lived in. And I think Jackson did a really good job of that. So I'm not 100% sold on some of the hair and makeup choices. But again, in most of the scenes, it looks pretty good in the trailer. Like, this stuff's gorgeous. Again, love the cinematography. The use of lighting in this trailer is incredible. This low-angle shot with the water rippling by, it feels very fantastical. It doesn't feel cheap. Again, a couple CGI shots like here, aren't quite up to snuff. But again, it's a fantastical world. You can sneak by with some of that. This shot didn't hold up too well for me. These light rays feel a little bit janky. But again, it's a couple shots in, an entire trailer. That's fine. Overall, this looks amazing, like really amazing. And I didn't expect to be feeling that, honestly, the way that I am. Ooh, it was a cool, let's see if I can freeze frame. I gotta start pulling these freeze frames ahead of time. There was a shot in here, very Northman-esque here, this shot. I'm not saying they were ripping it, but it's very cool. It looks like that. Little upside down action too, if you want to look at it that way. Beautiful cinematography. That's the standout in this for me. The cinematography is gorgeous, and the effects, the VFX are really good. Man, lots of scale, lots of great moving pieces, a lot of stuff happening, foreground, background, everywhere. It looks full. This looks like a really full, thought out, fleshed out world. I'm impressed, like really impressed. And this is bumped up on my list of things I'm excited about. I honestly was pretty lukewarm when they announced it. I just thought there's no reason, but I see why there's a way to go in this with this kind of epic scale, having multiple chapters, approaching a different way than Jackson. It should be interesting. It's a cool effect there. Yeah, the only other shot that I love that shot with the candles behind him. That's super cool. Man, some good stuff all throughout. This was the orcs look great too, and I'm glad they're going practical. That is huge. At least it looks like most of them are practical. It looks great. That was my big issue with The Hobbit, obviously, was the use of CGI. And I'm glad they're going that practical route on this stuff. Then the only other shot I thought was a little bit whack was this. Yeah, this one right here. With the boat. This looks pretty rough. This is where it goes a little bit Hobbit, Hobbit-esque for me. But again, it's just a trailer. We've got a lot of time before September to polish that stuff up. And I love that they snuck in the Balrog there. Familiar iconography takes us back into this world. It's exciting. I'm really impressed. What do you guys think about this trailer? Let me know. This just dropped, again, just about an hour ago. I got a lot of time to digest it, and I'm really excited for September based on what I'm seeing right here. Let me know if you agree or if you completely disagree. We'll have fun in the comments either way.